get ears for him.
And we're online. We're live, everybody. Hello. Welcome to potentially our last panel at the Printiverse at Graph Expo 15. And how appropriate that it is a panel about finishing. Isn't that ironic how that worked out? You wouldn't think somebody perhaps calculated that the last panel would be on finishing, but I did. Okay, so we are going to talk about post-press success, winning with finishing. Finishing is a very topical topic these days. It's how many printers and marketers are differentiating themselves, either through selling their products and services or getting attention from customers. So this is going to be a very topical topic. We have representation from amazing companies here that work with finishing and create finishing products and services. So we're just going to start off, as I've been starting off all the panels, with basically just a brief who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into your more finishing questions.
My name is John Canary. I'm with B&R Mole and handle all of the United States sales.
I'm sorry, can you tell everybody what B&R Mole does?
I can do that. B&R Mole, we manufacture folding and gluing systems. We started out pocket folders over 40 years ago. Company's now coming into the third generation, and we now offer over 15 different machines, including a full packaging line. And our logo to go along with being the last panel is finishing is the last thing that your company does, but it is the first thing that your customers see.
I like that too.
That's very good. I like that. Hi, I'm Bob Rouse, and I'm with HP Indigo, and I manage for North America all of our workflow products, all of our workflow partners, and all of our finishing partners. So I tell people that I manage pretty much everything before and after the press for HP Indigo, and it's exciting to be here. What I would tell you, in my opinion, is that when anybody's ever trying to create a product, whatever it is that we're selling, and our customers are selling, that they need to start with the end in mind and work their way back. So always start with finishing, and then that's going to help you design the product the right way instead of trying to fix it later.
Correct.
Hi, Deborah.
Hey.
My name is Ellen Manning. I am the head of marketing for Eagle Systems. We are a company based out of New Jersey. We build machinery for offset presses that do cold foil inline. We also do hot foil stamping machines as well. Cold foil inline is a process where foil is applied to paper, and then it is overprinted with ink, turning that foil into a rainbow of colors all in one pass on a printing press. So to say finishing is in my blood, absolutely. It's all about finishing. Thank you.
Yeah, you have your own mic.
You have your own.
Hi guys. So my name is Yariv Bustan. I'm from Scodex.
Codex.
Yeah. And we are doing a digital print enhancement. We have a variety of application. We are doing a spot varnish, which is the very thin layer on top of the print. We can do also embossed application, which we call it Sense. It's a very thick layer of polymer on top of the print. We have the ability to do braille. We have the brand new application that we are just introducing in Graph Expo, which is the digital foil. And this is what we are doing, digital print enhancement.
Thank you so much. Okay, John, we'll start with you. How do your products and services or those of your partners add value to print? And can you share an ROI case study where finishing has made the difference?
Absolutely. So, especially now with printers, when B&R Mole first started, we focused it only on the finishers. However, now since the markets are changing a little bit and the printers are now keeping the work in-house and the run sizes seem to be getting a little bit smaller, the market actually came to us because our machines are actually geared to some of the smaller runs, a couple 100,000 and definitely less. You probably wouldn't be looking for us to do the millions. So we now have, because of the machines being affordable and we have people now who are considering, since they're doing the printing, to just keep the work in-house. We recently did some business with a person in Virginia who was having all his packaging done where the printer was, and all in one motion he brought the printer and the packaging, and he has told us that it has cut approximately 35% of his costs off of him, just because of the ROI on our machines are so good.
Thanks so much, HP. Indigo.
All right, so what I'll tell you is that that we work with a lot of finishing partners, and that I have an example in my mind at the moment, in particular, very, I'd say, unique or different industry. It happens to be around greeting cards and different types of communications, let's say, for events or holidays and so on, right? So we're working with a partner in the U.S. that resells GMP lamination. Their name is Innovate, or Amerilam, great partner of ours. And just recently, we've been able to work with a customer, a joint customer, to open up a completely new market for them by basically not just laminating, as you would think, a regular coat for maybe for resistance, let's say, scuff resistance, etc., but actually through a multi-layer laminating process, something called sleeking. Sleeking actually gives you the ability to have like a holographic laminate stick to a particular portion of the print. Every print can be different, and so you can highlight various aspects of different greeting cards for different occasions, different designs. Every one can be completely different, and you know it'll pull out whether it's a gold foil, a silver, a holographic, whatever, and then you overlaminate it to protect it. And it's a very unique process that only HP Indigo can do.
I think that foil has become a very big proponent in packaging industry these days. And one of the fields that we found was that most companies, for several years, used to outsource their foiling to companies that were trade finishing companies. And even though we also sell hot foil stamping, a lot of companies wanted to change up and bring it in-house. And they found that our solution of cold foiling was an inexpensive way of doing it. We are an attachment to an already existing printing press or a brand new one, and it allows the printer to actually provide the foil and enhance packaging, and that's really what our product is about. It's enhancement to packaging. And I think that everybody now is in the wow stage. Everybody wants something different and something that's going to jump off the shelf. And foil is really what's jumping off the shelf, whether it be digital or whether it be offset. It's about the pizzazz that foil gives. And I have to say that normally when we talk to a company, I usually say to them, this is not the kind of thing that build it and they will come. This is the kind of thing that buy it, sell it, market it, and it will come. And a lot of the end users, the brands, are very excited about how it's changed their product. And now they realize too that the packaging actually sells a lot of times the product. Even though the products may be fabulous, the people see the packaging first. So that's where it's about, and we're all in the same situation here.
Yeah. Do you have a particular case study you might be able to share where foil has enhanced? Or you're not allowed to share them at the moment?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times that happens, just so everybody knows. You know, the customers just don't want
even talk about a product.
other people knowing, you know, their business, quite frankly. And I respect that, and that's totally cool. Skodex?
Okay, so first, I'm totally agree with Ellen. Foil is the holy grail of enhancement. Everybody wants foil, and once with a digital solution, and it's much more available for them. I'm talking with many customers. We are basically offering an ROI to two types of customers that are already doing it, and then we are replacing the analog solution with an in-house digital solution, which is very, very cost-effective. The make ready is almost zero. There is no molds, no dye, so all the long time for make ready is not exist in a digital solution. So this is one very strong ROI. This is really a non-brainer for people that already doing a foil in hot or cold. The digital solution it's a no-brainer for them because it's so cost-effective. It's in-house. It's very fast. Almost no make ready, so it helped them to do it. The other one are customers or prospects that don't want to mess with this enhancement, although this is very desired, but all the trouble that need to put in order to get the product, don't want to mess with it. And now with the digital in-house solution, this is very affordable, very easy for them to make. Just have the file and print it. So the ROI is very strong either way, and the benefits, as mentioned before, it's well known. You can take a Kit Kat and put a foil on the package, and it's become a Godiva chocolate. So the perception of a customer that hold in his hand a package or any commercial print also with foil, totally give it a luxury feeling, and the effect of the enhancement is clear.
Thanks so much. I'm just curious, before I get to the next question for Indigo, do you guys consider the white ink and the ink technologies that you have as finishing, some of that is raised, isn't it? I mean, do you consider that a finishing process?
So it's a great question. I wouldn't say that we consider that a finishing process as much as an enhancement process,
Okay.
right? We're trying to add value to the print by opening up not only white inks, but also, for example, as you mentioned, raised print. We can do digital embossing, basically, in a number of ways, and of course with 7 colors and all kinds of options. I guess the point is what we're trying to do is add as much value to the print as possible, and not only through the inks, but by printing on different substrates, clear laminates, all sorts of things that really open up markets and enable our customers to do new things. Now, once you have the printed piece, then we take it to the finishing process, and whether that's coating, whether that's cutting, die cutting, foiling, creating booklets, etc. It's our goal to add that value as well. And if you just allow me, one of the things that we've developed that's very unique is actually something we call direct to finish. And so with direct to finish, what we can do is automatically create finishing plans in pre-press. So when you're in pre-press and you're setting up a job or you're imposing it, you already know what the finished product's going to be, obviously. So the idea is you're going to actually create in the pre-press department a finishing plan. So let's say it's a perfect bound book, and we're going to print a photo book that's 60 pages, and we're going to bind it and so forth. We actually have JDF integration with a number of key partners like Horizon, CP Borg, Duplo, and through Polar and more and others. So the idea is we can actually up front produce the job, add enhancements like inks and so on, but then also print it. And we know, for example, that when we print a postcard or a photo book, let's say 6 up on a sheet, we know exactly where those images are. We know where the gutters are and the margins and the slug lines and everything else. So we create a JDF file that's sent to the cutter. All they have to do, and then print a banner sheet. So all they have to do is take the stack over to the cutter, scan the banner sheet, and it pulls up the finishing plan, and it's got a whole cut sequence already programmed. It's shown in an animated way on the screen, so it shows the operator how to position the stack, and then it's basically cut, cut, cut. There's no measurements, there's no adjustments, there's no waste, and so it's very much integrated not only with the finishing device, but also all the way back through the workflow, all the way up to pre-press.
Thanks very much. Okay, so part of these discussions is also related to the audience at home to be able to learn from you on things like how you market to your customers. So this question is half and half. So finishing is a visual and tactile component of print. How do you effectively market your offerings to customers and prospects, and how do you help your customers market to theirs? Can we start with you, John?
So, as far as marketing to our customers, man, I think we were doing more of the traditional way of, just trying to get into the print magazines, and if I'm following the question the right way, into the print magazines, and then obviously the trade shows like Graph Expo are huge for us because we typically we're a company emerging from one market and trying to get into another market, and we've actually been finding that social media has been much more effective than we initially thought it was going to be.
What's social media?
Then after we get our customer, the way we found the marketing from there is the best is we like talking to their salespeople. So after we get done with the product with the operations people, the presidents of the companies, we get the product in. We like to meet with salespeople from the company, show them the different folds that our machines can handle, and hopefully, and then tell them, go out and ask for the business because it's out there. Somebody else is getting it, and now you have the machine that can get it. Go ask for it, and it definitely come in. So our aftermarket is definitely with our customer salespeople. Before market, handling it with social media and the trade shows and print magazines.
And you actually have 3 machines with you that you're physically showing people what can be done with them.
So absolutely, we're still one of the only companies that bring full lines of machinery to every show that we go to. I even suggested to the owner today about maybe just setting a booth up at one of the shows because there's a couple getting all compacted with each other next year, and he said absolutely not. That's not our reputation. We want people to see the maroon machines and see what's actually going on with them. So as long as he's around, there will always be machines in our booths at trade shows.
Awesome. HP, how do you effectively market your offerings to customers and prospects, and how do you help them market to theirs?
So a lot of what we focus on, I mean, we have spec sheets and we have information about products, and we talk about products sometimes, but really where we start is by educating people. We're trying to educate people on what's possible. We're trying to inspire people. And what's exciting is when you educate somebody on some of the capabilities and what's possible, and you have exciting samples, really what we learn from our customers. It's amazing to put the technology out there, explain what it can do, and then step back and watch what people actually do with it. And in a lot of ways, our focus is obviously we're here to sell equipment, we're here to sell software and so on, but we do that by a very authentic desire to add value and to help our customers succeed. This is our main approach, and we find it works very well because we can add that value and we can learn, and when we don't know something, we put our heads together, we pull our partners into a room, and we try to figure it out. So I hope that helps, yeah?
It does, of course. Ellen?
Thanks.
Well, just getting back to the statement that I made before about the wow factor. When we first started promoting cold foil, I would have to say it wasn't a very easy type of sell. People were semi-interested because they were still doing hot foil. So what we started to do was to get samples from the customers that we already had samples printed, and sent them out to the brands themselves to show them what the finished packaging would look like if they added the foil to it.
Genius.
Which created a demand from their printer. They would take then the sample to their printer and say, I want this done, can you do it? Well, lucky for me, then I get a phone call from the printer, now is interested in purchasing. But what I have found is that over the past few years, everybody's looking for a way to open up new markets, of course, make more money. But it's all about, as you said, educating the end user, educating the printer on the process of what they can do. And I have to say that one of the things that we are very well known for is we believe in selling our equipment. We believe our equipment is wonderful. but we also want anyone who purchases it to benefit from it. And we are there holding their hand all the way. When we sell equipment, we come in, we train the people. We train them on how to use the foil, what goes good with it, the adhesives, the foils, the inks. Everything fits together to make that package. And then what we do is we sit down with their sales team and we come in and we do a presentation on how to sell the product. Because it's when you come up with something new, as all of you know, it's a new marketing plan for the company. Now this is something new and they have to learn what to do. And normally what I teach my customers is to make a presentation book of taking maybe some of their current customers' product, foiling it, putting into a booklet, bringing it with them and showing people this is what this product can do for you. People have to see it. It's like touching, feeling, you have to see it. And once they see it, they get excited. And you have to build excitement in order to sell any product. And I believe that we do that really well. So I'm very, very happy with this. Our reputation is really known for teaching everybody how to get the most out of it. We even train companies that have other machines, not only our product. We train them on how to get the most out of it. Because my whole point is to build the whole basis of foiling product.
Right.
And I have to say, I'm pretty happy with
Yes,
it.
and you actually made a great point, but I would just go one further as a print buyer, as somebody that everybody here would want me to understand what your products and services can do. A sample book of samples that you're currently printing, I understand it's practical because you have them already, but something you said before, how you went and specifically showed a brand what their products would look. If a printer would come and show me how my client's stuff would look with your enhancements,
You would get excited.
I would be able to show them and I would be able to get the buy off on it. So I think that was a genius strategy, and I think the printer should listen to that and really personalize sample books. So thank
Everything
you.
that all of us do, it's all visual.
Yes, absolutely. So Skodex.
Yeah, so we are doing something, I think it's very similar to what Ellen mentioned. We are having a kind of a sample book that have in one side the job that they did for them in the last year or before they have the product, and in the other page the same job exactly but with the enhancement, and it doesn't matter which type of enhancement, and then he can see and the customer tell them, okay, I can offer you what I did last year, but I can offer you what with my capability this year, and you can choose if you want to stay with the regular stuff or you can have the new one. Most of them will choose the new one because also the cost for it is minimal and the effect is great. It's really a wow effect. So this is one type of that our customer going to their end client. We are, in order to educate the market, we are going, of course, to the, as mentioned before, to the regular show trades, magazine, and so on. We also have a lot of activity in the social media, of course. And another thing that we are doing is we also have, after we selling the press, we have a group that's called the CBD, which is Customer Business Development. We want to help our customer to develop their business. So this group have two missions. One is to train them how to use the product, how to use all the capabilities from it, how to optimize it. This is one thing. And the second thing is to share with them real customers' jobs from around the world. We have customers from New Zealand, Australia, India, China, all around the world. And our guys are taking a real job, not just samples that we're creating. So we are sharing with them real jobs from around the world. And this data sharing is great because the creativity is unlimited, and we are learning from our customer every day, and we are sharing this information with other customer, and this help them a lot to grow their business as well.
Thanks so much. Next question. How are your most successful customers partnering with their customers to create innovative print and marketing? Kevin, John?
Yes. I'm not quite sure how to answer that one. So, how are our partners, how are our customers?
Cool with your machines? Or they don't necessarily have to be, because your machines provide a service that
Right.
might not lead to a creative function, and that's totally fine. We could skip.
Yeah.
Please know that our audience is very broad. It covers every spectrum of printer out there. So these questions might not apply to everybody, but they don't also apply to everybody in the audience.
Right.
So if this one doesn't apply to you, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It just means it doesn't apply to you.
But I do, something did just jump in my head that actually just happened a couple hours ago, where
Exclusive.
yeah, there was a particular item that was folded on one of our machines, and that person was looking for someone else to fold their items, and a person came into our booth and said, I was sent here to buy one of your machines if I want the work that is going to come on. So I think when we kind of have a reputation, and people just say mole machines, and if one place has a mole machine and if someone else is trying to get that work, it kind of goes, well, it needs to be done on a mole machine. So I think that kind of fits an answer to that question, that we like our name and our brand recognition in the market with our color, and people do identify a particular product being folded with our product, with it being on a mole machine. So that is one way that we try to let people know if a particular product is being folded on our machine. We try to get it out there that our machines can handle this particular piece.
Cool. Thanks so much. HP, you probably have many stories about this.
Well, we have a few, but make sure I'm on the right track. Could you repeat the question?
Absolutely. How are your most successful customers partnering with their customers, in other words, designers, print buyers, print customers, to create innovative print and marketing?
So probably the most well-known or interesting example of that would be what we've done with Diet Coke. And something that we're using, a new piece of software that we have called SmartStream Mosaic. And what Mosaic does, and what Coke did, was basically they rebranded their Diet Coke bottles and with shrink sleeves that were printed. First, they were created with SmartStream Mosaic, printed on an indigo press, and then shrink sleeved around. So that every single bottle, and it was over 2 million bottles, every single
I'm sorry,
bottle.
shrink sleeving is a finishing process, correct?
So,
or no?
So we're printing, and then it's more of a converting process.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of that as finishing. And so the idea is that they printed a unique pattern, that was automatically generated through the software, and then basically made every single bottle out of 2 million bottles absolutely unique. There were no two alike, and they built a social media campaign around it, such that all the younger people, were taking selfies with their Diet Coke bottle and posting things, and they basically wanted that consumer to associate their own personal brand with that bottle. So sounds a little strange, but then the idea is they took it to the next level, because they made that same pattern available so that they could order a cell phone cover, or could order a t-shirts. Thank you. Absolutely right. I'm sorry. And a lot of other things. And so the idea was to kind of make it real. And it really took off on social media. And then you go to the supermarket and you see a couple hundred bottles, and you go pick, your bottle. And they did a great job of making everybody feel unique, and emphasize the idea that there was no other bottle in the world like that one, and that was you. Right? Amazing.
Thanks so much. Yeah. Ellen, I'm sure your customers are doing some funky things with foil.
Actually, they are. It's not just foil. One of the other processes that people can do with our equipment is a process called cast and cure. And I actually have a calendar here that was done from one of my customers in Japan. and on plastic. And we received it this year, and I was blown away because the plastic was beautiful. They did a whole thing of cold foil on it, and it was great. Then they sent another one to us, which had a film over it that sort of jumped off the page, which meant any which way you look at it was really awesome. It just, the whole idea of finishing is amazing. Unfortunately for me, a lot of my customers won't even allow me to show the products that they make for their customers because it's proprietary, and I guess they don't want to share it with other people.
No, that makes total
I have to
sense.
like squeeze product out of them.
Yeah, I mean,
to-
you know, packaging is one
Right.
of the most competitive, shelf space is one
Right.
of the most competitive industries out there.
One of my customers is a major supplier of cards to the casinos. So looking at that is pretty cool. And
Right.
they sell cards all over the world, so I guess that would be some sort of a product that you're talking about.
Thanks so much. Codex.
Okay, so the fact that Codex is digital, so it's unique. It's something that I think we are pioneer in this field, and the fact that you can do verbal data printing, or we call it verbal data enhancement, is something that's unique. You can do personalized foil. You can do each page with a different foil, which is something that it's almost, I can say, impossible in analog solution. And personalization is something that everybody aiming to, as I mentioned in the Coca-Cola campaign. So personalization and digital enhancement, it's something that allow you to be to do verbal data with enhancement, and it doesn't matter if it's with foil or with embossed or with spot. So all these things can be done in a verbal way. And this is a very unique capability and for our customers.
Thanks so much. Do we have a question from home? We have a question from home? Okay, then I have another final question.
Okay, this is, you get to pick one of these to talk about, because we've talked to the design, about the design side. We're going to talk about the actual equipment that you manufacture. So pick one of these to talk about, and then you can kind of promote your equipment a little bit. These are the things that printers are concerned about when they're looking at finishing equipment. Production standards, integration, automation, cost savings, time savings, turnaround time, quality control, cross-trained employees, end-to-end workflows, bottlenecks, and short run.
Wow.
Could you repeat that?
So I will go with turnaround time. In a lot of the folding gluing in the industry gets handed off, and sometimes could get handed off to 2 and 3 different finishers. The end user of the product thinks that the printer might be doing everything when that is rarely the case. And the printer would send it to one finisher to be somewhat folded, and then that finisher might send it to another finisher down the street to be somewhat more folded. And our machines can pretty much handle the full fold of many different complex folds, because we have an open top design and can do what needs to be done wherever you want to do it on our table. So why that helps the turnaround time is if the printer brings, which is happening more and more, if the printer brings our folding and gluing system into their shop, now they're in control of how fast it gets out the door, and they know that as soon as it comes in, because they're scheduling not only the printing, but they're also scheduling the folding gluing of the product. It takes the trucking companies right out of the picture, and that's usually where the biggest delays come, once they put a particular product in the hands of a transportation company, and God knows what happens to it after that. So the turnaround time is huge for the mole equipment, and it is probably the #1 thing that we tell printers, that we will save you all of that aggravation, let alone the money. And I've even calculated recently for a particular printer who told me what his transportation cost was, and he was actually paying more monthly transportation costs than what his financing would have been on one of our machines.
Okay, so I'm going to pick a couple, if that's right. And it's basically under the theme of end-to-end, right? But as I mentioned before, our whole goal in educating people, a very authentic desire to help our customers succeed and grow and enter new markets and have some fun along the way. The idea that we have a portfolio of products that we manufacture and develop, whether they're presses, digital front ends, also software and so forth, but also we have a wide range of partners. And so everything from, I'd say, creation all the way through, business management, production management, ripping, imposition, obviously then printing, and then all the way through finishing and fulfillment. And so I mentioned direct to finish already as far as automating the finishing aspects of things and being able to manage even through multiple steps in an automated way. But also we have it's basically a shop floor management product that integrates with any MIS system that's out there. And what it does is it gives people the ability to identify and track every single job on the floor, whether it's to an indigo press, a competitive digital press, offset, all the way from pre-press through shipping. And so fantastic, powerful dashboards. And the goal is, everybody I think can relate to the idea your customer calls your sales rep, your CSR and says, where's my job? Or I told you, I remember I know I told you I need it, on Tuesday, but we just had a change and I really need it on Friday. So what can you do? Can you make it? Is it on time? So what happens today? Typically people get up, they go talk to the production manager, and then they walk around the production floor, try to find it, talk to 4 or 5 people, and then when they do find it, they got to think about, well, how do I reprioritize it? Is it on track? And it's a lot of time and a lot of space and steps and so forth that are spent, finding jobs. This is one example, but with something like PrintMediaCentr, you're able to actually track every single job, know where it is, reprioritize it on the fly, and track the timing, report it all back, and so on. So we think about helping in a lot of different ways. Up front, trying to generate more business, because there's really 2 ways to make money, right? One is to get more business, and the other is to do it better, faster, and cheaper. So we try to address several aspects on both sides. Get more business, do new things, innovate, be inspired, but also produce it in a very timely, automated, and efficient manner all the way through.
Thank you so much. Ellen?
Sold me. Well, I probably want to say that the first question that we're usually asked is, what is the ROI on your piece of equipment? I guess all of you have probably had the same thing. And I can honestly say that every machine that we have sold to our customers has been paid off within the first year that they have it, which I think is pretty amazing, because they have gone out there and sold the product and are thrilled with the fact that now this machine is totally paid off. When we come in with the machine, we install it in 2 days. We bring them everything they need, and we run their first job with them. Our machine handles major packaging. It could be a 5,000 sheet run, a 100,000 sheet run, a 1,000,000 sheet run. My machine runs at press speed, so it doesn't hold them back at all. And it's, I think, pretty cool.
Thank you so much. Skodex.
Okay, so the fact that Skodex is offering a few different applications like embossed, like spot, and like foil. Also, we have a metallic application. All of them can be done on one platform. This is one way that the customer can save a lot of money, and he can have replace different analog system in one digital one. So this is one advantage. The second one, the fact that we are digital, we can do short run from one copy to several thousand, and you pay according to the pages that you print. You print one page, you will pay for one page. You don't need to pay for molds. You don't need to pay for dyes. So it's very cost-effective solution. You don't need any trained personnel to do it. You just need to know how to use a mouse and to click, print, and then it will be printed. So all of this stuff are showing a very fast ROI to our customer, increase their capabilities. They can offer a short run that is being enhanced. That's it, basically.
Thank you so much. We're going to wrap it up because it's time, but let's just end by letting everybody know what your website is. The show's going to close. I mean, you're more than welcome to tell people what your booth number is, but probably talking to the people at home, it's better to give them your website and any other way you'd like them to contact you. Mrs. Skodex? Skodex.
Okay, our website is skodex.com. We also have a Twitter account, which is SkodexSense.
Thanks so much, Ellen, at The Foil Experts.
Is that what my
Yes,
Twitter
that's what it
account
is. Yes.
Deborah's setting me up. I'm not.
I couldn't take it
I'm not up
anymore.
on social media there. Our website
She's the
is.
tweeter.
Our website is www.
Thank you.
I deserve that. Thefoilexperts.com.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
I had to do that. I'm sorry. I know.
Okay.
But anyway, so HP Indigo, right? Part of HP, hp.com/go/indigo.
And at HP Indigo is your Twitter.
Yes, indeed.
So I do know my Twitter account
Yes, you do. Yay.
because I created it, but
And
it
he
is
uses
at.
it well.
I'm trying to use it well. We are at Mole Brothers with an S on the end. And best way to reach us is our website. It's at www.molebrothers.com. And just to put a side note on that, we also have a location outside of the country in the UK. So anybody watching from other countries, when you do go to our website, we do have our UK that handles everything throughout Europe, everything other than North and South America, which I handle myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the panel. Thank you to everybody watching at home. Thank you to everyone in the booth. Thank you to everyone at the show. I think we're going to shut down the panels for today, so this is the last one. It's been fantastic experience. Thank you to everyone who's been working in the booth. Mark Morales, who's not here today. Brian Rothschild, Sandy Hubbard, Christine Alexander, Lady Scanalot, my mommy who's here. Yay, the mommy-in. She's been scanning up a storm. If you came within 3 feet of my booth, you know my mother because she has scanned you. So thank you so much again to all the Alliance partners, all the partners we have here at Graph Expo and beyond, and especially to everybody at home, because without you, none of us would be here. So thank you so much.